Hello everybody, I'm the Trapbox Gamer. Welcome back to Minecraft. We are continuing with... You know what? I'm sure there's a reason why I'm collecting all this. That's always my go-to. There's a reason I'm doing something. It might not be a good reason, but there is a reason. Last time I was ending it on a footnote for my Cleric character, I believe. I like the campaign we had with the Cleric character because it was one of those campaigns where it wasn't really plot heavy. It was more go explore the world and let's see how far you can level up. See how far you can level the world. That was a whole campaign that we were doing, and it was pretty fun. I think this character was the first time that I actually did like a co-op character with another person, because Lorenzo, he asked me, hey, Anthony, I have an idea for a character, but I really want my character to have a brother, and since... Can we be brothers in this campaign, just like, to try it out? Because I really wanted my character to have a brother, and I'd rather not have an NPC, like, I wanted to have an actual connection, like, them interacting with each other. I was like, okay, that sounds like fun. So we spent, like, an hour coming up with, like, small backgrounds, like, for the characters, like, his character's name was Brahma. I believe he was a fighter. My character's name was Grotti, and he took the opposite position of a fighter. He'd be a cleric. So you have the punchy, and then you have the healing support class. Now we had to get into the reason why each character got into their professions. I did not get that far into my character's backstory. I only got to the point where I wanted to be a cleric. So this was actually helping my character, like, build up a bit. So what Lorenzo wanted his character was just a character that was fighting for, I think, glory, to make himself like something. In his words, to be a true orc, because we were playing half orcs and he had the pride of being like a full-blown orc. Grotti's story, however, differed. See, when Brahma left, he was left alone. He did have his family, yeah, but the family, Brahma was the golden child, so when the golden child left, he felt a little inadequate with the rest. So after maybe a year, he decided to go on the journey when he felt like he was ready. The only thing is that he could not find his brother. And that kind of goes into campaign why he's going on adventures, is to look for his brother. Because in this campaign, not only do we have one character, we have a couple characters, just in case that other character dies. That way, if it does happen, we could just grab our character and say, okay, we don't have to make a new character, we already have our characters. We could just continue where we are. We're not like you could swap them out, you know, party to party, but it'll make just like the character introduction just a little easier. So, while that was going on, I was partying with a different character that Lorenzo was playing as. I don't remember who this one was. I really don't remember who this one was. I think, funny enough, he was a criminal. Funny how a lot of my good characters end up getting involved with criminals. But eventually Grotti and Brahma did reunite, and Brahma was shocked that Grotti became a cleric. Like, he expected Grotti to get into like the fighting business, but he was like, I don't really like the idea of punching people. I just don't really go for that. I like to heal people. I'm good at healing. Which, there was this one encounter where he ran out of spell slots, had no offensive spells on him, which, you know, cleric, you're not going to have a whole variety of, you know, offensive magic on you. You're going to have a couple good spells. It also depends on the character. You're more like, if you're going for more support characters, you're going to have more things that would heal or benefit, like a buff in the battle, not full-on offensive magic. But the point is, I used the last of my spells. I was like, well, darn. I guess I'm just gonna have to hit this guy with my mace. And Lorenzo, he looked at me, it's like, you're a cleric though, you're not really gonna do much with a mace. I was like, well, I have nothing else to do, so I'm just gonna try hitting him with a mace. So, I go hit the guy with a mace. It does, I don't know how much I hit him for, maybe it was I don't think it was a crit, but when I hit him, I rolled the damage, and Lorenzo's sitting there. He's shocked. He's all like, "What? How did you get that high of a roll?" And it's like, my strength modifier. What's your strength modifier? +3. Your strength is 16? And I'm like, yeah, I rolled a 16 for my strength, and it was like, my strength's not 16! And I'm a fighter! And I'm like, oh, I don't know what to tell you, man! So the rolls, like, act that way sometimes, like... it's another joke that we include in the story is that Brahma just looks at Grodd, he's all like, brother, when have you been hitting the gym? I don't know, I've been looking for you. That it actually gets kind of sad with Grotti, because Grotti is the first character that I had suffer a major loss to... suffer physically from a major loss, because this game had this rule is that if you got damage more than half your total HP, I believe, you get a lasting injury. We were fighting this full-on orc dude. I think... I don't know if I had a cursed item. No, I did not have the cursed item on me, but this guy kind of rubbed Grotti the wrong way, so... In character, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell him that he's just rude. I believe. That sounds... something I'd probably go with. I don't know, it's been a long time, but the point is... this orc hit Grotti with a nat 20. And it took out half his health, so Grotti had to lose, like, he got a lasting injury, which was his arm. He lost his arm in battle. The funny thing is, Brahma, he was not there to witness said battle. Lorenzo changed up his character for a different character for this encounter. So... the next time they saw each other, it was a very big surprise for them. A very, very big surprise. I really wish I said that Grotti at least got the killing blow on this guy, like he was the one that finished the boss off, but no, that was our wizard. The wizard got him. So, yeah, he lost his arm. He did get this cool looking pendant, which was cursed, and we're still trying to figure out how to, in character, get someone to analyze it so they can help him out with it. So, this pendant gives you a +1 to your AC, but the thing is, it has this little negative status effect that makes it so you don't run from fights. You don't flee from fights. You stay put and you fight. And by that, say an enemy's right in front of you, or, you know, coming towards you, you cannot run back away from enemies. You either stay put or you get closer to said enemies. Which, oh boy, I hate that so much, because one, I'm not saying that, like, this isn't really his thing. He likes to, like, a lot of my support characters, they typically stick in the back to observe the area, to keep an eye on their friends, but... oh, with this new necklace that's cursing me to go up and do physical fights, I ain't got much of a say in it now. I wonder if I still have his... I wonder if I have his sheet somewhere, because I think this is the one that actually was on D&D Beyond, but I had to move it because I ran out of space. Hold on. Yeah, okay, here it is. So, his strength was... okay, his strength is an 18. I wonder if that's because I got to level 4 and I increased it, or maybe I took a feat and it got increased. Something along those lines. He has a strength of 18, so if it didn't change from the... well, he's a level 4. He either got the +2 from the level up, or... it was rolled 18, so okay. He had 18 in strength, 15 in dex, 15 in con, 14 in intelligence, 17 in wisdom, my guy, and 10 in charisma. which is kind of sad because I think with clerics, their stat for magic casting, I think that might be charisma. Let me check that out real quick. Because he has a good wisdom. That has to be the highest wisdom I think I ever had. I was rolling good for this character, so when he got that lasting injury, I freaked out. Oh man, is he gonna die? This character was so good. Like, oh, I hope he doesn't die. Oh no, okay, I'm looking at this. The casting for cleric is actually their wisdom. So yeah, no, we got pretty good with the cleric stat right there then. But to be fair, my DM, he's a pretty nice DM. Like, this was still at the beginning of when I was starting their session, so I was still a little new to things. If I ever make a decision, or if I ever talk to him about what I want in a character, he would, like, nudge me to a more utilized, like, usage of the character, or more, like, optimized stat. Like, if I were... I think we get to roll the stats first, and then choose a skill. I think that's how we did it. So when I rolled these stats, then I was putting them... He probably nudged me to go towards wisdom, and then just choose whatever for the rest. If I could go back and change some stats... what I would change is... Well, since I would be a wisdom caster, I guess I would switch out the strength. With my wisdom, I would have the +4 to the wisdom rather than the +3. What are my spells? Because it's been a while since I actually looked at my spells. I see no spell list here. What gives? What gives with that, dude? Where are your spells? Don't tell me it didn't get added. That would suck. No, it has to be somewhere here. Okay, here's the spells. So far, I got Spare the Dying, Sacred Flame, Thaumaturgy, Light, Toll the Dead, Word of Radiance, which 2 of these are from Magic Initiative, or Initiate. Level 1 got Shield of Faith, Guiding... Wait, are these all prepared, or... Oh no, these are just the slots I had, or... Not the slots, the spells of the thing. I don't know which ones are prepared. Oh boy. I mean, it says all the spells I guess, you know, next time if I ever play this character, I would get to choose which one is which, but yeah, because I was looking through, I was like, that's a lot of level 1 spells just for a level 4 character, because I think it listed all the level 1 spells. So it's like, wait a minute, I don't believe that. I don't believe casting a lot of these. Let me see if I can find the couple spells that I did have, because I think one of them was definitely Shield of Faith. I think another one was Guiding Bolt. Cure Wounds. Honestly, I don't care what class I play as, I will always have Cure Wounds on me. Always have Cure Wounds, like, Cure Wounds is just a must. Because, let me tell you, if you go down, it'd be better to come back with more HP than getting propped back with 1 HP from a healer's kit or something like that. Because, you know, I think there was one time that the whole group was all messed up. Because, well, we got messed up, but nobody knew Cure Wounds or something like that. It's like, oh, this sucks. This absolutely sucks. So, I think from that campaign, I decided to always have Cure Wounds on me. Just so that I would make sure that nobody outright dies. I think another one that I decided to have was Healing Word, which, honestly, Healing Word is like Cure Wounds, just distance-wise. For those that don't know. The thing is that Healing Word doesn't heal as much as Cure Wounds, but if you're in a tight spot, you use that from a distance. I remember when I was first playing this campaign, Lorenzo, I don't think, was in the game that day. I think he had to go somewhere, so I think it was just... I think Anna was there, but I'm not sure who else was there. I think it might have been Anna, and 2 of our other friends, we were encountering an enemy, and I asked the DM, because this enemy sounded kind of creepy. This sounded like a very scary enemy. Like, it looked bad, like it was giving me the bad vibes, just based on the description. So I was like, does my divine sense tell me anything about this enemy? And the DM says, your divine sense definitely says that this enemy is not a good enemy. It is very much an evil enemy. You could just feel it by looking at it. So, what I did was, before we even rolled initiative, I said, I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at this thing at was it 2nd or was it 3rd level? I probably say 2nd level, because I think we weren't at 3rd, like I didn't have any 3rd level spell slots, so I said at 2nd level, because this thing gave me the willies. So it's like, I'm not risking that. I am definitely not risking that. So I rolled the hit. I think, now I don't remember if I hit a nat 20 with this, but mind you, the DM did say that this creature was in fact evil. My Guiding Bolt was very effective against something evil. So it was vulnerable to the damage that I was given. So if it was a nat 20, or if it wasn't, I'm still doing double damage. So I rolled for the damage. The DM freezes as I rolled out the damage. And I was about to say, do we roll initiative now? He looked at me and he said, no, you don't roll initiative because you killed it. In one hit. You killed it in one hit. And I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know. Oh my god, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Because imagine you're walking up, you see this nasty looking creature, it looks like it's going to be a nasty fight. One tapped. Completely one tapped. We got free experience, like, we got some good experience with that. Another way that you could get experience in this game is through gaining money. And one of the players jokingly said, okay, if I gave you a gold piece, that's 1 experience. If you give me another gold piece, that's another experience. If we keep it up, we'll be in level 20 in no time. Which the DM said, that's not how that rule is going to work. You gain experience by getting gold piece from anybody outside the player. So it had to be through an NPC, something like that. And I think maybe it was just gold piece, because I think it would have been a lot harder to calculate, like with like copper pieces and silver pieces. So yeah, I think it was just the gold pieces, which was kind of a cool rule. Give you the initiative to go out and get more money rewards. This was before, Grotti lost his arm, though. This was like the start of the campaign. Grotti lost his arm, like, I'd say a good chunk into the middle of the campaign, maybe? Probably? I don't know, but when that happened, I was like, oh god, what am I gonna do? I only have one hand. Like, I only have one arm. That sucks. That really sucks. And then I asked, hey, you know Berserker, right? Would there be any way that I could get my get a metal arm and have it like that? And my DM said, you can if you know a blacksmith or an artificer. Kill my second character, because my second character, I made an artificer because I wanted to try him out. Like, I wanted to try out the artificer's glass. The only thing is I didn't play him often, but I knew someone who could do it. The thing is, it's just I needed the gold pieces and I needed the material. So I say, after maybe an adventure with, I think that guy's name was Patty something, Patrick. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. Usually I don't give like characters last names because 9 times out of 10 I'm not going to remember the last names. But his first name was Patty or Patrick, depending on who's talking to him. Now, he was a gnome, came from the mountain area. He wanted to open up his own, blacksmith shop because he wanted to create a bunch of stuff. That was his main goal. So when he got this mission, oh, he was very happy. Very happy indeed. I'd say it took maybe, I don't know how long it took. I think it was within the first or second session of playing as him. I managed to get enough materials to make said metal arm. I just needed time to, make said arm. Because it's not going to be, okay, you got it done. You got the materials. It's an instant make. No, it would be like, yeah, no, it's going to take you some time. So, after some adventuring with that character, he went back to the main city, gave Grotti his new arm, which, you know what? I could only get the base components for it. I could only make a base arm, but it still functions pretty well. Like, if I want to make the arm more improved, I was gonna need to get the more materials, more money for it. While I did want to improve it a little, I was thinking, I really want to level up Grotti more, and if I keep having him stand back, he's gonna end up being low leveled. So I was kind of like on the thoughts on what I really want. If I wanted to keep going without him, or if I wanted to keep going with him, and I was like, I kind of want to go with him because I did get a little attached to Grotti. So I was like, for the time being, I think I'm just going to have him have his new arm. Nothing too special. I think what I asked was if I could make it so it could hold a mace, and I was given the A-OK. And for how it holds the mace, I believe it was held magnetically, so the mace would just snap into his arm. I believe that was how it went. I didn't think this through. Hold on. There. For Patrick, whatever you want to call him, is that I really wanted him to be like a weapons maker. And one of the concept weapons I had, which I kind of held on to myself because I wanted to be a surprise for the DM, but since it's been a while, I kind of forgot what it was. I know the very basics of it was supposed to be like an Arcane Blaster. That it was a cannon that goes around your arm. That, as you could probably predict, shoots out like Arcane Blast, like shoots out some energy. The thing is that I don't know if that's lore friendly to this campaign. I think it might be. Like, you could argue that it's just amplifying the magic that you have and shooting it out. But at the same time, I feel like the ruling for that would make it that only people who know how to cast spells are the only ones that are going to be able to wield a weapon. So, yeah, besides, if that were the case, I feel like the ruling would also go that the weapon attack would take, like, maybe a spell slot. Or, alternatively, you have a certain amount of charges of said weapon, and if you use all the charges, you have to use your spell slot to make an attack with a weapon. The thing is that if you used up all your spell slots, and if you used up all your charges, then the weapon's kinda useless at that point. That don't sound like a good weapon. That sounds a very situational weapon, like a very, okay, I'll use you maybe a couple times, but once you're kinda useless to me, it's like, throw away. You get what I mean? Like, it sounds like that cool looking weapon that you want, but then you realize it's not great in stat wise, you know? Of course, if I altered it a bit, like, okay, you have this arcane cannon that shoots out bolts or arrows, and you could magically infuse said bolts and arrows with a charge, then you could still have the ability to shoot out like a weapon attack, and you have the option to turn it into a magic attack. That would make it a little more useful. I could see my friend saying that the rule for the arcane part of this weapon, you have to, like, use a bonus action to activate it. That seems fair. That makes sense, too. Like, yeah, I could totally see that being a rule for the weapon. It's just... You know, I don't know if something like this exists. Again, I'm not too well-read into D&D, so something like this already exists, and I'm just, like, making a worse version of it, but it was something that I made up when I was playing with this character, and I like the idea. Another part of this weapon was that it would have a dial that would, like, select the type of damage that you're doing. By default, I kind of went with either bludgeoning or force. I think it was force because I think force made more sense. Bludgeoning, you're smacking somebody with something. Force felt like you're getting hit with something. So that's what I kind of rationalized it. So I was thinking that by default, you'll have force damage as your magic damage. And when you improve the weapon, I don't know how it would get implemented, like how many... Would it be based on your level? Would it be based on a roll of the die? It might have been either or, but when you upgrade the weapon, you get additional damage types. And I was going to say, you know what? For some chaotic goodness, how about for each time you upgrade the weapon, you get the roll on what damage you get for said weapon, like what blast it would be spitting out. Just for fun, just like for a little bit of chaos in this world. I think maybe the highest that you'll be able to upgrade it would be like +3. I know there's like a lot more magic. It's just like everything that I notice is like the highest plus I've seen is a +3 weapon, so I figure that that's probably the highest I'm going to be able to make this weapon. Though I would like to go a little higher with it. I mean, sadly, none of this got past then the basic basic concept phase. Not really the. What are you doing? Excuse me? Hey, buddy! It's my bed. You're lucky to end an episode. That being said, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Take care. Please like and subscribe. The nerve of some people.